In the heart of Ironhold, where the peaks of the searing mountains kissed the azure sky and shadows danced in the sharp crevices, lay the fabled iron halls. These ancient halls, forged by the hands of long-gone smiths, were said to pulse with the lifeblood of the earth itself, their walls imbued with a magic so potent that it sang in the marrow of all who dared to enter. Here, the very air vibrated with the echo of hammers striking anvils, and the scent of molten metal lingered like a ghost from the past. As twilight descended upon the realm, a tapestry of golden light spilled over the landscape, casting a warm glow upon the massive iron gates of the halls. Leora, a young human adventurer with tousled chestnut hair and eyes like emerald flames, stood before the gates, her heart racing with equal parts trepidation and excitement. She gripped the hilt of her sword, a slender blade etched with runes that shimmered subtly in the fading light. Her quest was clear: to retrieve the Heartstone, a legendary gem said to have the power to awaken the dormant golems guarding the halls, and to restore the balance between nature and the ironworks that had long kept the realm in its iron grip. As she pushed open the gates, an encompassing silence enveloped her, thick as fog. The interior of the iron halls unfolded like a grand cathedral, with towering columns of glistening metal that spiraled toward a vaulted ceiling, where intricate mosaics told the tales of ancient kings and their battles. Shadows flickered in the corners, hinting at movements unseen, while the low hum of enchantment thrummed through the stone beneath her feet. "Come forth, seeker of the Heartstone," a resonant voice echoed, reverberating off the walls like the tolling of a great bell. Leora's pulse quickened as she turned to face a massive figure emerging from the darkness, a golem, its body a mosaic of gleaming iron plates and rough stone, its eyes glowing a fierce cobalt blue. "Kairos," she breathed, recognizing the guardian of the halls, "I seek the Heartstone to awaken your kin and restore the balance of Ironhold." The golem regarded her, its eyes narrowing as if pondering her words. "The Heartstone is no mere trinket, girl. It is a key, and with it you hold the burden of choice. Restore what once was, or unleash a fury long contained." Leora steeled herself, the weight of her quest settling upon her shoulders. "I choose to restore. The land suffers under the shadow of unbridled industry. The creatures of the forest weep, and the rivers run dry. I cannot stand idly by." As the last echoes of her words faded, a gust of wind swept through the halls, bringing with it the scent of rain-soaked earth and blooming flowers, a distant memory of what Ironhold once was. The golem stepped away, revealing a secluded alcove where a pedestal of shimmering silver cradled the Heartstone. It pulsed, rhythmically, a heartbeat in sync with the world beyond the halls. "Very well, Leora," Kairos intoned, his voice thick with ancient wisdom. "But beware, for the path you tread is fraught with peril. Dark forces seek to claim the Heartstone for themselves." With determination knitting her brow and the promise of adventure igniting her spirit, Leora advanced, her hand outstretched toward the pulsating gem. The echoes of the past whispered around her, intertwining with the vibrant threads of destiny as she prepared to embrace her fate within the iron halls. In the heart of the Ironhold, where shadows danced beneath the flickering glow of molten metal, the air hummed with ancient magic. The land itself was a tapestry of steel and stone, woven together by the breath of the earth and the whispers of forgotten lore. Here, amidst the towering spires of rusted iron and sprawling forges, lived the golems, sentient creations of clay and metal, animated by the essence of long-lost enchantments. They were the guardians of this realm, tasked with preserving the secrets of the Ironwalkers, the master smiths who had crafted them. Amidst the clamor of hammers striking anvils and the hiss of burning coals, a lone figure emerged from the shadows. Kalen, a human blacksmith of humble beginnings, but a heart brimming with wild dreams. His hands, calloused and stained with soot, held the promise of adventure. With a glint in his eye that mirrored the glimmering shards of ore strewn across the floor, he sought to uncover the whispers of the Ironhold, the tales of the golems who had once roamed free and wild before being bound to their metal forms. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon in a cascade of crimson and gold, Kalen ventured to the outskirts of the village. There, silhouetted against the dying light, stood a colossal golem named Ferrock, an ancient sentinel, with eyes like molten silver that glimmered with untold wisdom. The air crackled as Kalen approached, his heart pounding with a mixture of trepidation and awe. "Why do you linger, young one?" Therok's voice rumbled like distant thunder, resonating through the very stones beneath Kalen's feet. "I seek knowledge," Kalen replied, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "I wish to learn of the Ironhold's past, of the magic that flows through its veins. There are tales whispered among the villagers, of the Ironwalkers, and the great forge they once wielded." Therok regarded him with a gaze that seemed to pierce through his soul. "Many seek the truth, but few are prepared for the burden it carries. The Ironhold's heart beats in the depths of the Black Forge, where the ancients breathed life into our kind. To uncover its secrets is to court danger and destiny alike." Kalen's resolve only deepened. "I will brave whatever trials lie ahead. The stories must be told, the magic rekindled." With a slow nod, Therok extended an immense stone hand, fingers curling like roots of an ancient tree. "Then come, Forge-bearer, let the journey begin." Together they traversed the winding paths of Ironhold, where shadows mingled with flickering torchlight, and echoes of long-forgotten chants resonated in the air. The night was alive with the rustle of enchanted creatures. Iron-feathered hawks soared overhead, their wings whispering secrets, while ethereal wisp-lights danced along the cobblestones, illuminating the way to the Black Forge. As they descended into the depths of the earth, the temperature dropped, and the air thickened with the scent of scorched minerals. The forge, a cavernous expanse, glowed with an otherworldly light, casting flickering images upon the walls. Visions of the Ironwalkers, their hands deftly melding fire and metal, crafting golems to serve and protect. Here, in the heart of the Ironhold, Kalen stood on the precipice of destiny, poised to unlock the whispers of the past and reshape the future. The adventure had only just begun. In the heart of the quaint village of Eldergrove, where the sun wove golden threads through the emerald canopies, a tapestry of legends swirled like the fragrant smoke from the blacksmith's forge. Laughter echoed among the thatched roof cottages, yet within the bustling market square, an ancient tale was unfolding, one that had held the villagers in rapt attention for generations. Elara, a sprightly figure with tousled chestnut hair and smudged cheeks, stood at the feet of an old storyteller named Bran, his voice a rich melody that danced through the crowd. His gnarled hands gestured widely, summoning the shadows of the past. "Listen well, my friends, for hidden beyond the misty peaks lies the Iron Halls, a fortress not merely of stone, but of magic and might. Built by artisans of old, the walls echo with the whispers of their secrets." Elara's heart fluttered, each beat syncing with the rhythmic cadence of Bran's words. The Iron Halls had long been a shimmering dream, a promise of adventure far removed from the confines of her forge, where the forge's hearth glowed like a dying sun, and the anvil rang with the mundane clatter of horseshoes and nails. She leaned closer, her eyes wide, drinking in every detail. "Within those hallowed halls," Bran continued, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, "golems guard ancient relics, artifacts of immense power, crafted from the very essence of magic itself. But beware, for the golems are no mere stone sentinels, they are alive. Brought to life through the enchantments of their creators, they are both protector and protectorate. To cross their path is to embrace destiny itself." A flicker of longing ignited in Elara's chest, a flame that rivaled the heat of her forge. What would it be like to confront the monumental golems, to stand before relics that shimmered with the light of 1,000 suns? She envisioned herself, sword in hand, ready to carve her path through the unknown. The thought of leaving Eldergrove behind for a world filled with magic and peril stirred something wild within her spirit. As Bran spoke of the treacherous journey to the Iron Halls, of braving the treacherous Whispering Woods, where the trees twisted and swayed as if possessed, and crossing the Stormbreaker River, where the waters surged with the roars of ancient spirits, Elara felt a surge of determination. Each challenge was a stepping stone, a test of her mettle. She could almost feel the weight of a gleaming sword at her side, the thrill of the wind in her hair as she charged into the unknown. The crowd surged and gasped, enraptured by the storyteller's vivid imagery, but Elara barely noticed. In her mind, she was already traversing the rocky crags of Ironhold, her heart racing as she approached the towering entrance of the Iron Halls, carved with runes, that whispered secrets only the brave could decipher. "Will you answer the call?" Bran's voice rang out, piercing the fabric of her reverie. "Will you seek the iron halls where destiny awaits?" A fire ignited within Alara, one that could not be quenched by the comforts of home. She stepped forward, feeling the weight of countless dreams resting on her shoulders. "I will," she declared, her voice steady and unwavering. The path to adventure lay before her, winding through shadows and light. And though she knew not of what lay ahead, she had made her choice. The iron halls awaited, and so did her destiny. In the realm of Ironhold, where jagged mountains pierced the skies and rivers of molten metal snaked through deep valleys, there existed an ancient legend of the Golem Guardian. Forged from the very heart of the earth, the Guardian was a colossal being of shimmering stone, imbued with the essence of the elements. Its eyes glowed like twin suns, illuminating the darkness that lingered within the caverns of the dread peaks. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the landscape, the village of Briarforge stirred. Leela, a spirited young blacksmith with hair as wild as the wind, stood at her anvil, hammering away at a piece of iron. Her heart, however, was not in her work. Whispers of a dying magic had traveled through the air, settling like ash in the hearts of villagers. The Golem Guardian, once a protector of Ironhold, had fallen into a deep slumber, its power waning, leaving the realm vulnerable to dark forces that stirred in the shadows. With the moon now a silver sentinel in the night sky, Leela decided she could no longer ignore the call of adventure that throbbed within her. She had heard tales from the village elders about a hidden path leading to the sanctum of the Guardian, a sacred place where the remnants of ancient magic clung to the stone. Grabbing her leather satchel, she tucked in a few provisions, a flask of enchanted water, and her trusty hammer, imbued with the spirit of her ancestors. The journey was treacherous. Dense woods wrapped around her like a cloak, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, while the ground beneath her feet trembled with the pulse of the earth. She ventured deeper until she stumbled upon the first of the magical creatures that inhabited the realm. A luminous fox with fur like spun silver darted through the underbrush, its eyes glinting with mischief and intelligence. "Seek you the Guardian?" it chirped, its voice melodic, like the tinkling of chimes in the breeze. "I do," Leela replied, her determination shining through her uncertainty. "Then follow," said the fox, its form shimmering, and with a flick of its tail, it bounded away, leading her to a hidden clearing. There, bathed in moonlight, the entrance to the sanctum appeared, a grand archway of entwined roots and stones, pulsating with a soft, rhythmic glow. Leela felt the pulse resonate through her, a call to her very soul. As she stepped inside, the air shifted, heavy with magic and the scent of ancient memories. The chamber beyond was vast, its walls adorned with murals depicting the Golem Guardian in all its glory, battling creatures of darkness, shielding villages with its immense strength. At the center lay the slumbering titan, encased in a cocoon of earth and crystal, its surface cracked like dry parchment. Leela's heart raced as she approached, her fingers brushing against the cool stone. "I am here to awaken you," she whispered, her voice trembling with reverence. In response, the golem stirred, a deep rumble echoing through the sanctum. Cracks spiderwebbed across its surface, and with each heartbeat, the glow of its eyes flickered to life. Leela stepped back, awed and terrified, as the Guardian began to rise, reawakening from centuries of slumber, a titan reborn to protect Ironhold once more. "Who dares to disturb my rest?" it boomed, its voice resonating like thunder in the cavern, yet softened by the warmth of forgotten memories. "It is I, Leela of Briarforge," she replied, her voice steady despite the tremors of fear. "I seek your strength to save our realm from the shadows that threaten to engulf it." The Golem Guardian's eyes glinted with recognition, and in that moment, Leela understood. Her quest was not merely to awaken a guardian, but to forge a bond that would unite the magic of the ancients with the hope of a new generation. Together, they would rise against the darkness, their adventure just beginning. The mists clung to the earth, like a veil of whispers, as Alara stepped into the realm of Ironhold, her heart dancing with trepidation and excitement. Towering peaks, their jagged silhouettes etched against the twilight sky, loomed above her, their surfaces glistening with flecks of iron and silver. The air hummed with an ancient magic, prickling at her skin and igniting her resolve. She had set out from the quiet glades of Eldergrove, driven by a prophecy that beckoned her to the fortress of Iron Halls, a stronghold of power now besieged by dark forces. As Alara navigated the worn paths that led deeper into the rugged terrain, the sound of clattering stone caught her attention. She turned, her breath catching in her throat. Emerging from the shadows was a creature unlike any she had ever seen, a golem of enchanted stone, its body forged from the very earth surrounding her. Its eyes glowed with the warmth of molten gold, and as it approached, a soft light flickered within its chest, revealing the intricate carvings that adorned its form like ancient runes. "Fear not, traveler," the golem rumbled, its voice resonating like the deep toll of a distant bell. "I am Korin, guardian of the Iron Halls, and I sense your heart beats with purpose." Alara, her voice trembling with awe, replied, "I seek to save the Iron Halls from the dark force that threatens it. I have come to retrieve the heart of metal." At the mention of the artifact, Korin's eyes flickered with understanding, and a shadow crossed over his stone brow. "Then you must tread carefully. A malevolence has arisen, a dark sorcerer who seeks to harness the heart's legendary power for his own twisted purposes. He has awakened the Iron Wraiths, cursed beings of anguish, and they now stalk the halls where once I stood vigilant." Alara felt a surge of determination. "I will not let the Iron Halls fall. Tell me how to reach the heart of metal." "The journey will be perilous," Korin warned, stepping aside to reveal a hidden pathway winding between the craggy rocks. "Follow the path to the Forge of Echoes, where the heart lies guarded by the Wraiths and their dark master. Use your light to pierce through the shadows, for only the pure of heart may claim the heart." With each word, Korin's stone form glimmered as if charged with purpose. Alara felt a pulse of warmth emanating from him, a reflection of her own burgeoning courage. She gazed into his golden eyes, seeking assurance. "Will you help me?" "I shall accompany you, for my bond to the Iron Halls compels me to protect its legacy," Korin replied, a note of pride shimmering in his voice. "Together we shall forge a path through the darkness." With a resolute nod, Alara and Korin began their journey, the air crackling with anticipation. The pathway wound deeper into the heart of Ironhold, where the echoes of the past whispered in her ears, weaving tales of bravery and sacrifice. As they approached the looming silhouette of the Iron Halls, a chill settled over the land, a warning of the trials that awaited them. But with Korin at her side, and the fire of destiny igniting her spirit, Alara felt ready to face whatever darkness lay ahead. The heart of metal awaited, and with it the fate of the Iron Halls hung in the balance. Adventure awaited, and the time for courage was now. In the heart of Ironhold, where the iron veins of the earth whispered secrets to the wind, the sun dipped low behind rugged mountains, casting gilded shadows across the vast expanse of the Golem Fields. It was here, in a place where the very soil thrummed with ancient magic, that a stirring began, a call to adventure that would shake the foundations of the realm. Beneath the sprawling fiery sky, a solitary figure trudged through the verdant thickets of wild emerald ferns. Alara, a young human of the village of Stonehaven, was not one to seek glory or fame. Her hands were calloused from tilled earth, and her hair tangled with the scent of wild jasmine. But today, as the sun painted the horizon in hues of crimson and gold, something pulsed in her chest, a whisper, a beckoning, as if the very essence of Ironhold sought to awaken the dormant spirit within her. From the depths of the thicket, a rustle sent a shiver down her spine. With cautious curiosity she parted the ferns, and in the clearing she beheld a sight that sent her heart racing. A towering golem, each limb forged from the very rocks of the mountains, stood sentinel amidst the evening haze. Its eyes flickered with an otherworldly glow, deep as the heart of a molten forge, revealing an intelligence that transcended its stony visage. "Seek you the cradle of echoes," the golem rumbled, its voice a low, resonant tremor that reverberated in Alara's bones. She stepped forward, mesmerized by the ancient guardian's presence. I know not of what you speak." "The cradle is where the lost memories of Ironhold dwell," the golem continued, each word echoing like a bell. "It is a place where the past and future entwine. You are chosen by the spirit of this realm. Rise, maiden of the soil, and embrace your destiny." Alara's heart raced as visions flooded her mind, a tapestry of dreams woven from the threads of history long forgotten. She saw battles fought under the watchful gaze of the stars, magic swirling in vibrant colors, and the cries of creatures both wondrous and terrible. Her heartbeat synchronized with the pulse of the land, and in that moment, she felt her ordinary life peel away, revealing a path glittering with potential. "What must I do?" she breathed, courage igniting within her. "Gather the shards of memory," the golem instructed, its stony fingers gesturing to the horizon where the sun dipped beyond the peaks, creating a shimmering veil of twilight. "Each shard is hidden in the heart of a creature that guards the echoes of Ironhold. You will face trials that will test your resolve, but with each shard, you will awaken the magic that lies dormant within you." A flurry of emotions washed over Alara: fear, excitement, uncertainty. She understood that this was no mere quest. It was a journey that would weave her fate into the tapestry of Ironhold itself. "I accept," her voice steady now, emboldened by the promise of adventure. The golem nodded, the earth trembling beneath its massive feet. "Then let the journey begin. Follow the path of the stars, and may the spirit of Ironhold guide you." As Alara took her first step into the unknown, the world shifted around her, the air crackling with magic, the very essence of adventure alive, ready to unfold before her. The air was thick with magic as Alara followed Corin through the twisting paths of the verdant wastes. Each step felt like an echo of ancient legends, the ground beneath them breathing softly, as if sharing secrets of the past. A rustle in the underbrush sent a shiver through her spine, and Corin halted, his hand raised. From the shadows emerged a metal serpent, its scales glimmering like polished silver under the dappled sunlight. It coiled and uncoiled, whispering in a language only Corin seemed to understand. "Fear not, Alara," he murmured, his voice steady like the mountains surrounding them. "They are guardians of the earth, bound to its will. We must tread lightly, for their paths are sacred." She nodded, though her heart raced with exhilaration and trepidation. The world around her, a vivid tapestry of greens and golds, punctuated by the iridescent flickers of enchanted crows, their paws echoing like the laughter of long-lost spirits. They circled overhead, their eyes glistening with midnight hues. One swooped down, landing gracefully on her shoulder. "Secrets, dear one, secrets await," the crow croaked, its voice a melodic whisper that sent chills cascading down her spine. Alara smiled, feeling the warmth of its presence, a reminder that magic was alive, swirling around her like the fragrant blossoms of the enchanted flora that dotted the landscape. As they pressed on, the terrain shifted from lush greenery to jagged rocks, a prelude to the looming fortress of Ironhold. A sense of dread settled deep in her gut as they approached the outskirts. The air was thick with the coppery scent of rust and remnants of forgotten battles. Crumbling stone walls rose like forlorn giants, their surfaces etched with the scars of time and conflict. Golems, once proud sentinels of the fortress, now lay dormant, their stony forms weathered by the ages, yet the echoes of their might lingered in the air, a haunting symphony of power that tugged at Alara's heart. Corin paused, his keen eyes scanning the shadows that danced along the remains of the battlements. "Listen," he said, lowering his voice. The wind carried soft murmurs, words cloaked in secrecy, as shadowy figures emerged from the depths of the ruins. Their forms were obscured, but their intent was clear, malicious plots woven into the fabric of their hushed conversation. Malara's breath caught in her throat. "They plan to invade," she whispered, the weight of urgency pressing against her chest. "We must warn the defenders within." With a nod, Corin led the way, his steps swift and purposeful. They darted through the remnants of the past, weaving between shattered pillars and vine-choked gateways. The shadows loomed closer, their plans rippling through the air like a wave of darkness, threatening to swallow Ironhold whole. As they approached the heavy gates, Alara felt a surge of determination swell within her. This fortress, with its once mighty golems and echoes of valor, deserved to stand tall against the encroaching night. Corin reached for the gate's weathered handle, and together they pushed against the ancient wood, the sound of grinding metal resonating like a battle cry. With a final heave, the gates creaked open, revealing the inner sanctum of Ironhold, a grand hall alive with flickering torchlight and the distant clangor of weapons. Alara stepped inside, her heart racing with the promise of adventure and the thrill of destiny, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The shadows outside had plotted long enough. It was time for the light within Ironhold to rise once more. In the heart of Ironhold, where the mountains clawed at the heavens and the valleys whispered secrets of old, lay the echoing halls, a labyrinthine cavern carved from the very bones of the earth. Here, the dim glow of phosphorescent fungi illuminated the curling stone walls, casting a kaleidoscope of colors that danced like wraiths in the shadows. The air was thick with magic, a palpable essence that hummed in the ears of those who dared to venture within. Elara, a young human sorceress with hair like spun gold and eyes that shimmered with the light of distant stars, stood at the mouth of the cavern. She gripped her staff, a twisted branch of ancient yew, imbued with runes that glowed softly in the dark. Today was no ordinary day. She was tasked with a quest that sent shivers of excitement through her veins. The elders had spoken of the Heartstone, a mystical gem said to pulse with the essence of creation itself, hidden deep within the echoing halls. It was rumored that whoever possessed the Heartstone could awaken the golems of the earth, ancient guardians of Ironhold, and bend them to their will. With a deep breath, Elara stepped into the cavern, the sound of her footfalls swallowed by the vastness around her. The first chamber opened before her like the jaws of a great beast. Stalactites hung from the ceiling like the fangs of an ancient predator, and the ground was littered with glistening minerals that shimmered in the light like a carpet of stars. She felt the pull of the Heartstone, a soft rhythmic thrum that resonated within her chest, guiding her deeper into the bowels of the mountain. As she ventured onward, the sound of her footsteps morphed into a symphony of echoes. They bounced off the walls, weaving together to form a haunting melody that seemed to beckon her further. Each note carried a whisper of long-lost tales, stories of the golems who once roamed the surface, their heavy footfalls resonating against the earth as they protected their realm. Elara could almost see them in her mind's eye, towering figures of shimmering stone and clay, their eyes glowing with the light of ancient magic. Suddenly, a movement caught her attention, a flicker of shadow in the corner of her vision. Elara turned, her heart racing as a figure emerged from the darkness. It was a golem, its form sculpted from the very stone of Ironhold, adorned with intricate carvings that pulsed with an otherworldly glow. It towered above her, its eyes like molten gold, watching her with an intelligence that sent ripples of awe through her. "Why do you trespass, child of flesh?" Its voice rumbled like distant thunder, echoing through the tavern. "I seek the Heartstone," Elara replied, determination lacing her words. "I wish to awaken my kin, to unite the golems and the humans once more." Its gaze piercing through to the core of her being. "Many have sought the Heartstone, yet few have proven worthy. What will you offer in return for such power?" Elara's mind raced, recalling the tales of those who had come before her, their greed leading to ruin. "I offer respect and alliance," she declared, her voice steady. "The golems are not tools of war, but protectors of this land. Together we can reclaim our home from the shadows that threaten it." A deep silence fell between them, thick with the weight of ages. Then, slowly, the golem inclined its massive head. "You speak with the heart of a true guardian. Very well, sorceress. The path to the Heartstone is fraught with trials, but should you succeed, the golems of Ironhold shall rise once more." With a nod of mutual understanding, Elara stepped forward, ready to face whatever challenges awaited her in the depths of the echoing halls, her spirit aflame with the promise of adventure. The air within the iron halls clung to Elara like a heavy shroud, thick with ancient magic and the metallic scent of rust. Each breath was weighted with the echoes of long-forgotten battles, and beneath her feet, the stone seemed to hum with the restless energy of slumbering golems. Beside her, Corin's brow furrowed in concentration as they navigated the labyrinthine corridors, their flickering torches casting ghostly shadows that danced along the walls. "Stay close," Elara whispered, her voice barely above a breath. The stone corridors twisted into darkness ahead, their path illuminated only by sporadic glimmers of enchanted runes embedded in the walls, remnants of a time when magic flowed freely through Ironhold, suffusing the very stones with life. As they ventured deeper, the clangor of distant machinery thrummed like a heartbeat in the silence. The sound seemed to pulse through the ground, reverberating off the walls and stirring the dust of ages long past. Elara's heart raced in tandem with the rhythm, each pulse urging her forward. They were seekers of the past, and the fortress held secrets that begged to be unearthed. Look! Corin pointed to a vast chamber that opened before them, its ceiling arching high above, lost to the darkness. In the center, an intricate mechanism lay dormant, a great circular device of interlocking gears and shimmering crystals. It was a puzzle, its surface etched with runes that seemed to pulse with a faint light, inviting them to unlock its mystery. Alara stepped closer, tracing the runes with her fingertips. This must be a key to something powerful. The words hung in the air, heavy with the promise of untold magic. Just then, the ground beneath them trembled, and the chamber walls shuddered, as if awakening from a long slumber. Corin drew his sword, its blade glinting with determination. What if it's a trap? Or a test? Alara countered, her heart racing. They had come too far to turn back now. We must solve it. Together they examined the device, piecing together its purpose. The runes depicted ancient warriors and their formidable golem protectors, each figure locked in a dance of battle against shadowy foes. Alara's pulse quickened as she realized the connection. They were guardians, not just machines. The golems were revered. The mural painted a picture of harmony, where flesh and steel had coalesced in a bond of duty and honor. But the shadows that tainted the tapestry hinted at a darker fate. Alara's thoughts flickered to the stories whispered among villagers of Ironhold, tales of a curse that twisted the golem's purpose, turning them from protectors to relentless sentinels poised for vengeance. As if responding to her thoughts, the machinery groaned to life, gears grinding against one another with a metallic shriek. Shadows flickered in the corners of the chamber, and the temperature dropped, the air thickening, as if anticipating conflict. Now or never, Corin shouted, his voice steady amidst the chaos. Alara took a deep breath, focusing on the runes before her, deciphering their meanings. One by one she pressed the symbols in a deliberate sequence, her heart pounding with each press, risking a misstep that could unleash the very wrath they sought to avoid. With a final echoing click, the mechanism roared to life. Light erupted from the device, illuminating the chamber in a warm glow and flooding the walls with the images of golems dancing victoriously alongside their human allies. Alara and Corin stood, breathless, as the air shimmered with renewed magic, the fortress stirring from its age-old slumber. The path ahead lay open, revealing deeper mysteries yet to be unveiled within the iron halls. In the heart of Ironhold, where the mountains kissed the ashen sky, lay the ancient arena known as the Circle of Trials. Crafted from the very stone that had shaped the domain, the arena pulsed with a life of its own, whispering secrets of trials past to those brave enough to step into its embrace. Today, the air was electric, crackling with anticipation as the trial of the three guardians began, a spectacle that echoed through the realm, drawing in spectators from both the stone-carved halls and the lush, verdant valleys beyond. The sun, a molten orb, hung low in the sky, casting golden hues against the granite walls of the arena. Clad in armor that glimmered like the sunlit sea, three champions stood at the precipice of destiny. A tall, stalwart human named Kalen, with hair like spun silver and eyes that mirrored the cobalt depths of the ocean, gripped his sword, Dawnbringer. Its blade shimmered with ethereal runes, each a fragment of ancient magic forged in the fires of creation itself. Beside him, a golem known as Therok loomed, a majestic figure wrought from shimmering obsidian and embedded with ethereal crystals that pulsed in tandem with his heart. The whispers of the earth flowed through him, a song of strength and resilience. Unlike any golem of rock and clay, Therok bore sentience in his crystalline eyes, a testament to the sorcery that breathes soul into stone. Completing the triad was Seraphine, a woman of the forest, adorned in garments woven from the very essence of leaves and petals. Her hair cascaded like a waterfall of autumn colors, and her eyes sparkled with the emerald light of the woods. Summoning the spirits of nature, she felt the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, a reminder that every living thing, even inanimate, was entwined in the grand tapestry of existence. As the horn of the arena blared, a booming voice echoed from the grand dais, where the council of the elders sat, cloaked in robes of twilight. Brave champions, you stand before the ancient trials, not only to earn your place among the guardians, but to protect the realm of Ironhold from the encroaching shadows that threaten to consume it. With a flick of a hand, the elder summoned forth the first challenge, The ground trembled, and from the depths of the arena emerged a majestic creature, the wyvern of the Flameheart, its scales a dazzling red and gold, eyes burning like molten lava. With a roar that sent tremors through the stony earth, the beast took to the air, circling the arena, a tempest of wings and fury. Kalen gripped his sword tighter, the runes glowing brighter in response to the danger. He called upon his courage, stepping forward. "Together!" he shouted, his voice imbued with determination. Seraphine raised her arms, summoning vines that coiled around the arena's borders, whispering to the winds, while Tharok, steadfast and unyielding, drew upon the strength of the mountain, readying himself for the impending clash. As the wyvern descended, a flash of fire erupted from its maw, engulfing the arena in searing heat. But Kalen, his heart racing, felt the bond between himself, Tharok, and Seraphine strengthen. Magic flowed through them, an unbreakable connection between flesh and stone, nature and human spirit. In that moment, they knew that the bond of their friendship would be the key to overcoming the trials ahead. With a battle cry that echoed through the ages, they surged forward, ready to face the tempest of flames and forge their destiny in the annals of Ironhold. The trial had begun, and the fate of their realm hung delicately upon the edge of a blade. The air in Ironhold shimmered with a metallic sheen, the sky above painted in hues of swirling copper and deep iron. As Alara stepped onto the ancient pathway leading to the heart of metal, the ground thrummed beneath her feet, resonating with the pulse of the realm. Towering spires of rusted iron loomed overhead, casting elongated shadows that danced like specters in the waning light. Beside her, Korin, her golem companion, was a steadfast presence, his body glistening with the sheen of polished ore, the embedded gemstones in his chest pulsating like a heartbeat. "Remember, Alara," Korin rumbled, his voice a symphony of gears and gravel. "The trial of the three guardians will test more than just your physical prowess. Stay true to yourself, and we shall prevail." As they approached the threshold of the trials, a booming voice echoed through the air, vibrating the very earth beneath them. "Who dares seek the heart of metal?" it called, a sound like the clanging of hammers upon anvils. From the shadows emerged the first guardian, a colossal iron beast, its eyes glowing like molten gold, towering above them with a grotesque majesty. Alara's heart raced, but she stood firm. "I am Alara, and I seek the heart to save my village from despair," she declared, her voice steady despite the fear creeping into her heart. The guardian roared, shaking the ground. "Prove your strength!" With that it charged, a whirlwind of gears and steel, its massive limbs crashing down like thunder. Drawing in a deep breath, Alara summoned her resolve. She sidestepped the first strike, her movements graceful as she danced around the beast's onslaught. Korin followed closely, providing support, his stone fists ready to aid. With a surge of adrenaline, Alara seized a long iron rod from the debris strewn about. Wielding it like a weapon, she struck the guardian's knee with a mighty blow, sending it stumbling backward. "Now," Korin encouraged. With a flick of her wrist, Alara swung the rod again, aiming for the beast's gleaming eye. It let out a shriek of metal on metal, and with one final, determined strike, she shattered the iron eye, causing the guardian to collapse in a cacophony of twisted metal. With the first trial complete, the air hummed with anticipation. The next guardian emerged, a figure cloaked in shadows, its voice a whisper of wind through rusting gears. "Answer my riddle, or face eternal darkness," it intoned, weaving illusions that danced just beyond her comprehension. "What is always in front of you, but can't be seen?" it asked. Alara closed her eyes, letting the silence wrap around her. The answer came like a spark, igniting her thoughts. "The future," she proclaimed, opening her eyes wide with clarity. The guardian's shadowy form flickered and dissolved into dust, a soft sigh of defeat echoing through the realm. Finally, the last guardian materialized, a towering silhouette against the shimmering backdrop of Ironhold, its presence both imposing and ethereal. "Face your greatest fear," it thundered, and in an instant, the landscape shifted around her. Alara found herself standing on the edge of a precipice, a chasm of darkness yawning below, a void where her insecurities clawed at her heart. Images of failure, loss, and solitude spiraled around her. But Korin's reassuring glow pulsed beside her, grounding her. Taking a step forward, she shouted into the abyss, "I will not be defined by my fears." With each word, the darkness receded, the chasm collapsing into a stream of silver light. The guardian bowed, its form dissipating like mist in the dawn. Alara stood victorious, her bond with Corin forged anew in the crucible of trials. With a deep breath, she stepped towards the heart of metal, her spirit ablaze with newfound strength, wisdom, and courage, ready to embrace the destiny that awaited her. In the heart of Ironhold, where jagged mountains pierced a sky of molten gold, the air shimmered with an ancient magic. The realm was a tapestry of clashing elements, the gentle murmur of the verdant river winding through emerald valleys, the echoing clang of hammers in the forges of the industrious golem crafters, and the whisper of secrets woven deep within the roots of the elderwood trees. It was a land steeped in legends, where golem and human once stood united, bound by an alliance forged in the crucible of war. But that was before the shattering. The sun dipped low, casting elongated shadows across the crumbling courtyard of Emberstone Keep, where the last remnants of the alliance lingered like the dying embers of a once great fire. A figure cloaked in rippling shadows stood at the edge of the battlements, surveying the realm. Alara, a human warrior with hair the color of midnight and eyes that sparkled like starlit skies, grasped her sword, a blade imbued with the essence of her ancestors. It hummed with a fierce energy, as if aware of the tension coiling in the air. Beside her, a towering golem named Tharok loomed, fashioned from obsidian and veins of gold. His eyes, molten pools of amber, flickered with the memory of a time when the two species fought side by side against the encroaching darkness. "The shards of our trust lie scattered across the realm," Tharok rumbled, his voice a deep echo that vibrated through the stones. "We must gather them before the shadows consume us." Alara nodded, her heart heavy with the weight of their broken camaraderie. "We need to seek the Crystal of Unity," she declared, her voice rising above the whispers of the wind. "It is said to hold the power to mend what is fractured. If we can find it, we may yet restore our alliance." As they descended from the keep, the path ahead glowed faintly, a ribbon of shimmering light, leading them toward the enchanted glade, where the crystal was said to be concealed. Thick vines twisted around ancient trees, their leaves glistening with dew like diamonds. Creatures of all shapes and sizes flitted through the underbrush, sprites with gossamer wings, wisps of light that danced playfully, and foxes with fur like molten silver. But as they ventured deeper, the air grew heavy with an oppressive silence. Shadows stretched and twisted, forming grotesque shapes that clawed at the edges of Alara and Tharok's resolve. Suddenly, with a thunderous roar, a creature emerged from the gloom, a worm of darkness, scales like obsidian glass reflecting the fleeting light. Its eyes burned with a malevolent intelligence as it coiled around a massive boulder, blocking their path to the glade. "Turn back, foolish mortals in stone," it hissed, its voice a chilling whisper that reverberated through the trees. "The Crystal of Unity belongs to the shadows now." Her grip on her sword tightening. "We will not yield to fear. We are the champions of Ironhold, and we shall reclaim our fate." With a mighty roar, Tharok charged, his obsidian frame a blur against the enchanting backdrop of the glade. Lightning crackled from the sky, illuminating the battlefield as magic surged within Alara's blade. The shattered alliance would not remain broken, not today. And together, golem and human would forge a new destiny amidst the remnants of the past.